I don't know about you, but when I'm consuming someone's content on YouTube or the internet in some capacity, the question that always comes up, oftentimes subconsciously, is why should I listen to you? There's tons of different creators or influencers or just people delivering information online nowadays that there's a sea of information, and if I'm going to spend my precious time watching and consuming content from a certain individual, I would want to know more about them. And so, as uncomfortable as it might be to just talk about only myself and my past and my history with a camera in front of nobody, that is my intention with creating this video. I want to just provide you a little bit more context in terms of who I am, my previous experiences, education, background, working experience, all that kind of stuff, just so that you can make a better decision on whether or not you want to follow the channel and consume the content that I put out. A little bit about my educational background. I did my undergraduate studies at UC Irvine. If you know, you know. I was a political science major, so contrary to probably most physical therapists, I did not go through the kinesiology or biology route through the hard sciences. I was on the social science side of things. The reason why I switched and literally pivoted 180 was because at the end of my college career, probably similar to most kids coming out of college unless they are very clear about what they want, I was faced with the existential question of what do you want to do for the rest of your life? And for me, it was a difficult question to answer, but the answer that I eventually came up with was that I wanted to gain practical knowledge in a field that I could help others as well as help myself. So for me, that came to learning about movement, understanding the body, so that I could help other people get back to doing the things that they love, get out of pain, improve their performance, just try and get the most out of their life from a physical and mental standpoint. And then to also be able to use that specific knowledge to ensure that I stay healthy myself, because I truly believe that health is one of, if not the most important thing. You could have all the money in the world, you could have great relationships, but if you're dead, it kind of doesn't matter. So I kind of took the long route. I did all of my prerequisites at a community college, but luckily and thankfully, I got into Chapman University, and I was there from 2015 to 2018. Going into PT school, I was really self-conscious. I didn't think that I was smart enough to be able to excel and succeed as a doctor of physical therapy. And I think that really came from not having a science background, doing my undergrad or doing my prerequisites at a community college, all that kind of stuff. So I will tell for those who are watching who may be in a similar situation, don't think that way. Study your ass off, work hard, and have a purpose for why you're doing it, and you're gonna be just fine. PT school for me was good and bad. Good from the standpoint that you learn just how complex the body is and how there are so many different ways to approach trying to rehabilitate somebody and get someone back to full function. Bad from the standpoint of you learn so many different things that you don't really dive deep enough into any specific area, right? So the breadth of knowledge that you learn is quite vast, but the depth of knowledge that you learn is not really there. And unfortunately, when you go out in the real world and you start going on your clinical rotations and you start working in different practices, what I realized, what I think a lot of new grads or people that are still in school doing their rotations start to realize is that you really don't know shit about shit. You kind of know enough to be dangerous to a certain extent, but not really. I mean, at least that was my experience. So after physical therapy school, or actually during physical therapy school, I started working at a local high school, Cypress High School, and I continued to work there for 3 years, and then I eventually moved on to a different high school. And all of that was just to give back to the younger generation and to essentially fill the void. So at that time, my passion and my purpose and my mission was to basically teach younger kids who are similar to me everything that I wish that I knew at that age. So that was very fulfilling, and ultimately I felt like that helped me a ton in learning how to be more patient, learning how to be a better communicator, and as I'm seeing now that I have a 2-year-old, learning how to be a better dad. And so I'm very grateful for the opportunities. I'm very grateful for the people who gave me a chance and trusted me not only the coaching staffs, but also the individual players themselves. That was a great experience in my life and one that I will cherish and value forever. In terms of current interests, which then ties into the purpose of this channel and what you can expect to see in the future, I'm very interested in longevity. As I mentioned before, I have a 2-year-old daughter named Mila, and my biggest thing right now, at least, is to be in the best shape possible so that I can do everything that I want to do with her. I don't want to feel like my body is limited. I don't want to feel like I'm drained of energy and I don't have the energy to put into being a great dad. And ultimately, I want to set an example for her so that she could also be as healthy as possible as she's growing up. And then later transitioning into adolescence and adulthood. I'm also very interested in the Postural Restoration Institute. It's the primary treatment modality that I use. PRI is very heavily interested in neurology and how the brain and nervous system govern movement and movement expression. One of my big gripes with traditional physical therapy, kind of like your typical outpatient orthopedic insurance-based clinic and model, is that they often follow the stretch strength protocol, which, for example, if you have knee pain, then you're going to stretch your quad and you're going to stretch your hip flexor, and then we're going to strengthen your glutes. And to look at the body from a very isolated way, like just looking at the knee joint and the surrounding muscles and joints, is probably not the best way to go about it. Like, somebody who has knee pain doesn't just walk in the door with only their knees, right? They're walking to the door with their entire body. And then we have to start to think about not only physical ailments, but also psychological, emotional. So the whole biopsychosocial model is very important when it comes to treating the whole human as opposed to just a right knee. I'm also heavily focused on just being a great dad. And being a great dad means being a great communicator. Being a great dad means being creative and fun and having a lot of balance in my life. I don't want to be the type of dad who makes a lot of money but doesn't have any time to spend with their kid. I don't want to be the type of dad who is so emotionally drained at work that they don't have any more emotional room for empathy and for understanding and for teaching. So as much as I am passionate about continuing to broaden my knowledge base and to continue to deliver a really great product and service to my clients, I don't want to lose a sense of balance in my life, and I want to make sure that I have enough room for myself and also my family so that I could be the best that I could be in all realms, in business, in relationships, in family, and also just in my own skin. In terms of what you can expect from this channel moving forward, my mission as it currently stands is to try and help as many people achieve optimal mental and physical health as possible. Now, in order to do that, one of the challenges that I've set for myself is to try and record and post a YouTube video every single day. And saying that out loud is like, holy shit, I don't know how I'm gonna do that. But in order for me to accomplish my mission and my goal, which is, again, to help as many people achieve optimal mental and physical health as possible, I need to help you during that process. I want to share as much information that I've currently learned and give it all to you, as well as the information that I'm currently learning and also going through myself. And in terms of the delivery of the information, one thing that I respect a lot about some individuals who create content is they can make complex topics simple and easy to understand. This is not a college level academic course. This is YouTube, right? And so I don't want to be just all buttoned up and talking fancy shit and using big words that you don't understand. I want to try and give you the information that you need in very practical bits with as much context as needed so that you can truly understand the point, but without overloading you and making you feel like, okay, that's way too much information. I can't do that. So hopefully I'm able to accomplish that. If you like the message and if you like the channel so far, I would appreciate if you could subscribe. It definitely helps me out. And if you actually, something that would help me out even more is if you comment on these videos and ask a question or provide a topic that you're interested in, because ultimately this channel is about you guys and I want to make sure that I am creating content that you actually want to see. So with that, I appreciate it and I will see you on the next video.